So I've just made myself a nice camellia tea. It's doing its thing here, brewing. I've got 3 different trees here, and this particular one is a different type of flower. It's a camellia, pink camellia, but it's a different flower. It's a small, dainty flower, not like the big camellias. I don't know if you can see that, but it's I'm not making it in the teapot. I'm making it less because it's a new one, and just see how strong I can get it. And if you dunk it like this, it brings all the tea out of the leaves, and it becomes stronger, I've discovered. There's a real knack to it. So you can see the colour. There's so much that goes into tea and the way we drink it and the way that we should have it in ceremonies, and how we should go back to the culture of having teas in bone china and having little sweet bits of side treats with it, and just really enjoying it for what it really is and honouring the plant that it is. So what I wanted to do was come on and do a 10-10 update, because a lot of people are really struggling with these energies, and I'm finding the more we struggle with these energies, the harder it gets for us. A lot of people is talking about symptoms of separating themselves from reality. And this is really huge. They're tending to be more stay at home, don't want to do anything, don't feel well, don't feel healthy, feel a bit off, or, you know, they're just not feeling themselves. This is because, again, with the 10-10 portal and the new consciousness flowing into Earth, your body, your consciousness is here, and your body's here. And it's got to catch up to that level there, so you can work together, body and mind and soul. And so as your consciousness is up here and your body's having to produce itself to get to that consciousness and become more lighter and fill up with codes, there's all these other things adjusting. There's organs, there's skin, there's eyes, there's ears, there's the teeth, as I said. I've got inflammation at the moment. I've got a funny chest at the moment. A lot of people have got coughs, colds, stomach aches. I know several that have had diarrhea. And this is all part of that shift, that move. But there's also the emotional shift, the emotional sadness, the emotional extreme. You go from being really happy and then you go kind of sad. There's no sort of in between. That's your soul and your frequency trying to align with what your consciousness is telling you. So you kind of feel a bit distant. Sometimes you feel a bit overactive in the mind. Other times you just feel lethargic. You don't have the energy. They are the days that your team of light, your soul connections are telling you to take rest, lay out flat, just take time away from everything. Some of us are having night terrors. Some of us are having night sweats. As I said in the last update, we're going hot, we're going cold, we're going hot, going cold. We're having fevers, having sinus. I've got chronic sinus and hay fever. The smell of spring is really upsetting me and affecting my sinuses. So this is another symptom. Everything is becoming very extremely sensitive. The consciousness has shifted hugely in the last week. You've just got to look at comments that people make on posts, comments on YouTube channels, community pages, that kind of thing. And you can see there's a collective of other people now coming online and kind of really opening up, starting to see where they're at about what's been going on Earth, and how we as the supposedly conspiracy theorists, which they created that terminology, we didn't, have known about. They're all waking up to it because everything around us is collapsing. This is the beginning of the big collapse. You've got banks, you've got education, you've got hospitals, you've got supermarkets, greed, materialism, especially when everything around you see is not working. They're short of staff, they're short of this is happening, this is happening. You know, you've got department stores and big shop brands joining forces to keep their power on the market, because without another partnership, they're weak, they're collapsing. What else have you got? You know, this is that whole area of transition, area of consciousness coming in, and people realizing, like, big tech companies are struggling, communication companies are struggling. There's just no staff in the airlines anymore. Well, they didn't expect this because they all went out and got vaccinated, and now all their staff are sick, and they only need one person from a flight to not turn up and be sick, and the flights are cancelled. So you see, this is what's happening. You're getting cancellations, you're getting delays, travel's being done differently due to the fact that staff that are sick, that have all been vaccinated and having all these sudden turbo disease. So everything has been woken up and shown to you on the 1010 portal. However, we're having to struggle with our bodies, because our bodies have got to get up to where our consciousness is, and then everyone else's consciousness is rising, and then their bodies will start to go through symptoms as well. And you'll need us healers, the ones that do the healing, step forward and be available to give out healings, because there's going to be a lot needed. This is the last wake-up call, and many have already heard it and starting to see it. And there's, you know, so many of them talking about stuff that we talked about 15 years ago. We're way past that. Our consciousness is up here in the diamond of New Earth, creating that. Not down here talking about the children that have been rescued from tunnels that we knew about 15 years ago. You know, but they are waking up. They're having to go through what we went through. So there's going to be a lot of healing needed for that. Especially this whole P. Diddy thing, that's bringing everything to the surface, and people that follow these elites are starting to see for the truth that what has been happening out there, and, you know, what we've been talking about for years. So just a quick update on how people are feeling and what people are going through and the sicknesses that are out there. There's also a lot of happiness, though, because there's a celebration of, yay, the consciousness is finally being seen, heard, woken. You know, people are starting to want to meditate, want to get involved in activating the land, doing the grid lines, doing the grid work, doing the ley lines, creating. They're starting to understand this has to be done to create the whole new earth. And if they don't do it now and help us out, they'll be left behind. It's that simple, really. And, you know, this is the thing that is getting to a lot of the people that are sort of trying to struggle and sit on the fence about this. And let's wait and see what happens. You can't do that. You can't sit on the fence and wait to see what happens. You've got to make a decision. Am I moving forward? It's a hard road to take. Or am I sitting back here and just going to wait and miss out on all the beautiful golden abundance and everything that's going to be coming in? Because it's all about frequency. It's all about energy. Your frequency, your energy has to change. And when it does, it's recognizable. When it doesn't, we see it and we feel sorry for them because, you know, they need help. They're struggling. Even the plant life, the bird life, everything has changed dramatically, especially over the last week or two. Everything's become a lot lighter too, a lot brighter. I was struggling over the weekend with my eyes, but my eyes are much better than they've ever been because I don't wear sunglasses. I haven't worn sunglasses for about 2 years, 3 years, because I want those sun codes in my eyes helping me, helping my codes to be received through the eyes. The reason sunglasses were created was so we don't get our codes. if you want to have a stronger indigo and receive more light codes for your body and healing codes through the sun, and I'm talking central sun, not fake sun, don't wear sunglasses, because that's blocking. It's doing more damage than good. Everyone that wears sunglasses, everyone that wears suntan lotion, you're doing more damage than good. It was created to stop you receiving those codes. And it's now been confirmed, and it's coming out everywhere. These suntan lotions everyone's putting on their skin is causing cancer. That's what causes the cancer. If you look back into generations at the beginning of the century, nobody had skin cancer because they weren't using suntan lotion. And now all of a sudden they are. Everyone's covered in it. I mean, the other thing about, this whole 1010 portal is that a lot of people don't seem to understand that it sticks around for a month until 11/11, and then for another 3 months. So you've got to understand these energies, these frequencies that are coming in, don't come in for one day. They hang around and work on the light workers, the grid workers, the healers for a period of time. They come in, they give us energy, they give us strength, they give us codes, they upgrade our bodies, they do so much for us. It just takes time. It's not an instant fix. Nothing is an instant fix until the med beds and the new wellbeing technology arrives. So, and that could be a little bit further off. Well, I'll come in and give you that 1010 update and see what you're all doing for your consciousness. See what you're all doing for, what is it that you are doing to help yourself spiritually? What is it you're doing to love yourself and to understand yourself more? How are you going with giving yourself an activity each day to get to know yourself better so that you can help others? Is there anything out there that you're stuck on that you need help from the community? Is there anything that we could be helping you directly through Facebook? This is something that a lot of us are struggling. And I've seen several people reach out on their Facebook pages this week and say, I'm struggling. I need some help here. And I just get my team of people together and I just send out a message and say, quick, send healing codes to so-and-so. They're struggling. Do this, do that. Because it affects everyone in a different way. And the biggest problem at the moment is some of us feel so alone. Some of you are, living alone. Some of you are living away from your families. Some of you have no contact with the outside world other than your own little space or community. And that's hard because you don't know who to trust, who to speak to, who to get the help from. And that's where a lot of us light work pages and teams and everybody can come in and help you. And it's not easy. I'm just lucky I have a great supportive group around that I work with and light workers that I've got to know over the last few years that I can really trust and tell them how I'm feeling and what's going on. The 1010 portal hasn't affected me so much. What it's affected is my chest and my coughing. And as I said over the weekend, I was struggling with my eyes. I feel like I'm going from bad eyesight to good eyesight. So that down the track, I'm probably not going to need glasses because our eyes are also changing with these frequencies coming through and the energy. And I feel like, sometimes I look through my glasses and I think, are you actually helping my eyes? Because everything seems blurred. And then I lift them and I bring my eyes back into focus, and sometimes it's clearer. Other times it's not. So our eyes are adjusting to everything right now. And I know a lot of you with your ears too. A lot of people are talking about the ringing in the ears. Well, this is that frequency that's pouring in over Earth. You've got so much solar frequency coming in. The galactics are doing it. The angels are doing it. It's all coming in to help with this new lift of consciousness. And you can turn it down. You can ask your guides and your teams to turn it down. Just say, hey, this buzzing, this frequency, I have to feel like I'm shouting over it. Do you mind just turning it down a little bit? It's a little bit too high for me. I'm not coping. And then they will. They'll just turn it down. So what happens is, you know, with these sort of portals opening, 10-10, and we've got 11-11 yet, we'll have these symptoms. And these upgrades on our bodies. And we just need to learn to manage them. And not be afraid to say how you're feeling and reach out to the community and, you know, ask for that support, ask for that help. Because a lot of people now are too scared to, because they don't know who to trust. Are they going to be judged? And it's very hard. And is with this whole understanding of how the portal energy and frequency works, it's hard to get your head around when you're not sure of how it works. And as I said, we've got this 10-10 that's still running, and it will go right into probably early next year. Then we've got the 11-11 portal, and then we've got the 12-12 portal, and they're going to be major because you've got so much happening in the last 3 months of the year, because 2025 is the year of the rollout of everything new. And then, of course, 2026 is the abundance year, which is the year that New Earth is really starting to take off. These solar energies coming in is doing stuff to the weather, but don't forget, we're setting the weather back to how it originally was at the beginning of time, before everything had been done to the weather, before it had been adjusted. We're going back to the way that it should have been on Earth, with no extremes. And if you go back to the early times, most of the time it was sunny, because you had the central sun providing everyone with their codes. And people used sundials to tell what time of day it was, so that they knew they had to get home before the dark was coming, and they had to, you know, they had all the day to go before it got dark again. So we're going back to the days of sun. We're going to have sun, golden rays of abundance. We will have the occasional wind and occasional extreme cold to hot, but inside the diamond of the new earth forming, it's going to be a more tropical weather with a dry heat. And that is what feeds the codes. That is what feeds the plant life. There'll be the occasional snow on the high points of the mountains, but it won't be like it has been, big heavy snowfalls in towns where, you know, people have to get shovels out just to get out of their driveways and things like that. It will not be extreme. And so with this weather that's coming through now and the changes that are taking place, this is affecting everybody, because the world is changing into the diamond. And so the weather extremes are either really high or low. You've got low temperatures, hot temperatures, extreme wind, extreme rain. Other than that, hurricanes, which the last one, Milton, was galactic. You've got beings from outer space that are working with us to help this all form and happen. And a lot has come down into the earth area to make that happen, and to cleanse the earth, to cleanse the soil, to clean what's underground. There's so much pollution underground. You think the surface of earth is full of poisons. Wait till you see what's underground. That's why they've been cleansing, vaporizing, evaporating stuff, causing these hurricanes and that, so they can get in under there and have a huge big clean out. There's a lot's going on. It's way beyond even our understanding what's going on out there. And the 1010 portal is bringing that consciousness in for people to start to realize, hey, there's a bigger picture here. There's more going on. There's a heck of a lot going on than before. And that is because everything is changing. As I said, that's the start of a lot collapsing and the systems collapsing. But it's the bodies that I'm more concerned about. The symptoms everyone's having, as I spoke about earlier. Just make sure you take care of yourself with your water, with your vitamins, with your, you know, your mushroom mixtures or your sea moss or whatever it is that you do to help your body. because it is rough. Remember, your consciousness is up here and your body is trying to fit into that new consciousness. So it's got to raise to that level. And so the body is trying to change itself as well and bring in those codes so it can fit in and work together with your consciousness. So of course you're going to have lots of symptoms at this time. So just be kind to yourself. And as I said, you know, reach out to people on pages and things like that, because I've seen so many people suffering this week with so many symptoms and not feeling themselves. So that's probably it from me. That was just a quick update. I wanted to make sure everyone was okay, checking in on everyone, talking about, you know, if you feel like you need to talk to anyone or open up, you know, let's keep the space open for that, because I really believe that, you know, many of you are struggling with these new energies. And, you know, if you can feel like you can open up on a page somewhere and ask for that help, because it's not easy. As light workers, you know, we've been, you know, just being awake has been very hard on us. A lot of people have judged us and questioned us, and so therefore we're hesitant to open up freely to people because you don't know how they're going to judge you, and that's hard. It's the 1010 portal, guys. I do hope you all are doing okay with it, and as I said, it's not something that happens on one day and stays there. It does continue over to 3 months, 4 months, and in that time you've got your 1111 coming and your 1212. So I think the biggest problem at the moment is that we just keep ourselves focused on what it is that we need to do to get into the new earth, make it happen, create that living space. And, you know, it's slowly coming together. This time next year, you'll be looking back thinking, oh, what was that all about? You know, we're here now. So just keep working on that. Work on your, you know, your self-love. That's the most important thing I find, is making sure that you take time out for yourself. Do your little things. Like I've got my little china teacup here with my new tea in it that I've made. It's a different camellia bush, as I said. It's got a different flower. They're my little things I do for myself during the day, just to give myself a little pick up. And, you know, people say, oh, what is it that I can do for self-love? Well, it's just anything. Taking time to be by yourself and do something for yourself that doesn't need to cost any money. You know, just have your little cup that I went and got from the op shop. I got my little saucer. So I just have my cup of tea with my little saucer. You know, and that's my little bit of self-love for the day. And I just spend time, you know, I'd love a little sweet treat on there, but you've got to be careful you see sweet treats. Go for your, you know, your homemade muesli bars or oat bars or dried fruit bars. Be careful what nuts you eat too, because you've got to be careful of the nuts that you eat. Things like that. But, you know, do your activations, do your little spiritual practices, do your little, you know, gazing into the sun or looking at the break of the morning or the evening sky, and just spend that time being one with one and being in a peaceful space. That's the way to be, because that helps the consciousness, that helps the body capture the consciousness, and then it all comes into place nicely, because you're feeling good about yourself, you're feeling good about the space you're in, you're calm, you're relaxed. And that's one of the things that I've had to learn myself after coming from the corporate world. It's hard to know how to relax and to let go of things and just allow yourself to be. And that's what these portals do. They come in with such strong frequency and energy that it rattles a few things, you know, and that's your body. And that's why you're getting these symptoms. So just take your time and do things that you like doing. You know, if it means sitting down, making your own tea, making your own muesli bars, making your own cosmetics, just sitting on a diary and writing in a diary, you know, creating, drawing, any of those activities that give yourself a bit of achievement too, because each day you do something new for yourself. You're raising your consciousness because you've taught yourself something. You're learning something new all the time. Anyway, guys, that's me, and that's just the quick catch up on 1010. I do hope that you understand now that if you need any help, we're all here. Put your hand up, you know, join pages. Make sure that you feel that you're being heard and that you are going through some changes. I know a few people that are really sick at the moment, but it's not a sickness. It is actually a frequency upgrade. Try not and call it sickness, because then it becomes a sickness. Call it your upgrades, because it's all in the wording. Alright, take care, much love and many blessings. Bye for now.